What a win. Jesus, that was a hard one. Was there, can we ask for some control? Can we have just a little bit of control? I felt like a basketball game. Like, for real, like, are we even allowed to have a semblance of control? At no point did it feel like we were in control of this game or we had any sort of, you know, control in the midfield, like a register of sorts. I thought when Enzo came on, it was going to be more of, less up and down, maybe a bit more of a controlled game, but that never materialized. It seemed like we were just chasing and we were good going forward. But man, they gave us a game today, and we made it easy for them. It seemed like every time they went for it or there was a ball in the air, our defenders absolutely just always panicked. Like Levi Colwell today, I gotta call you out. You had a mare of a game. I mean, I know you're just coming back from your the injury and everything, but today you were not very good. In fact, I'll tell you were the weakest link in our defense. Only next to the young kid Hato. But you did not cover yourself in glory today. First of all, you get that early yellow card because of a bad touch or just a heavy touch, and then you take your guy down, and now you're on a yellow card. And then for that second goal that Fulham scored, what were you doing? Like I said, when the ball was in the air, it's like we just did not know what to do. We just seemed like we were always going to concede. And to me, it's bad. It makes me wonder if we strengthened enough on defense. But enough of the negativity. Let's talk about some positives. Lacroix. Lacroix was good today. And I know a lot of there was a lot of people saying that we didn't strengthen enough on our defensive end. But, oh, he looks really good. First of all, he gets an assist. Very confidently taking on his man and finding Rogers for his first Premier League goal at Chelsea Football Club. I mean, hey, we can put aside the 007 gimmick, and he's already opened his account at Chelsea. Aside from that, I don't think he did anything that good today. He wasn't very involved. He looked a little out of the game at times, and I would expect for him to be a bit more involved overall in the game. But gets his goal, so I'm very happy for him. But yeah, man. But Lacroix, very good today. I'm very, very impressed by the guy. His passing was good. He was the most assured in that deep defensive end. Every interception, every reading of the game, communicating. He did look like a center back. It looked like a real leader back there. And if the other guys next to him weren't such bozos, we could have come out of this game more comfortably. But those lapses on defense, like, first of all, let's get back on the market. We're going to need a goalkeeper because both goals were totally avoidable by Robert Sanchez. Him choosing to not protect his corner, the his corner, letting Josh King get that goal from such a low XG position, unacceptable. Unacceptable. And the second goal by Garcia, he parries the ball directly to his head. When, let's be honest, that wasn't the best strike from Castagna. And he lets this guy get a debut goal, from point blank range. Achimpong to me was very weak today. Very weak. He was getting beat. He made some good defensive contributions by blocking at times or by being having some recovery pace, but he was getting beat a lot. Some of that defensive IQ needs to be worked on because he was getting beat consistently, and that was very worrying for me. But we missed Caicedo today. First of all, we missed Caicedo's contribution. Our midfield did not look as solidified. Lavia wasn't able to cover all the grounds that he needed to cover. He did not have the we didn't have the assuredness that Caicedo gives us, and that's credit to Caicedo being that good. But we're going to be able to compete in this league. We need to be able to have some control, some steel in that midfield. And they didn't even try to go through our midfield. They were just going over the top for the most part, except for that one time where Josh King and Fulham tried to cut us apart, and they had they where they got the first goal from. Aside from that, they just went over the top, and we weren't up to the challenge today. But luckily for us, we've come out with the win, and let's finally talk about the man of the hour, Cole Palmer. I hope he did not pick up a knock at the end of the game there. He had to come off. But he looked back to his very best. We don't win that game today without Cole freaking Palmer. He looked he looked just as good as we've remembered him being. He looked back to his best. He looked comfortable. He was taking on his man. At some points, he was just playing with the Fulham defenders. He was facing them up. He was using his right foot. He was using his left foot to go past them, putting in delicious balls down for Lacroix's assist. And then you see what he did for and he gets his goal too, the winning goal. Yeah, he gets the winning goal for us from a nice bit of play from Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro gets a goal and assist today. Offensively, we looked very good. So you're not going to get not going to be hit bashing our offensive side, but we do need to improve defensively. We look very easy to get at. I know Javi Alonso has been known to play a bit more of the, like a up and down kind of game, like, trying to run up the score. This ain't no basketball game. We need to find some balance because another team today would have really cut us open. And we need to find some balance there. It was a very entertaining game for the neutral. I'm sure a lot of you that are neutrals will be sitting around saying that if we can get this sort of game every day, it'd be fun. But me, as a Chelsea fan, it was hard to watch at times because it felt like we were just chasing the game, and obviously we were dangerous on the counter. But some solidity, it's like the little bit of Maresca in there of just controlling. We could have used that at times today. But let's talk about the guys that came off the bench. I thought that Chavaria came in, and I don't think he put a foot wrong. He's a little guy though, but he definitely did not put a foot wrong. I thought you could tell it was his first game, but I felt a bit more comfortable with him, taking the right winger out, because he was getting tight to him. I felt like nobody was getting tight to anybody. That was a big one today. I was like, why is nobody getting tight to anybody? Except for in the beginning when it seemed like we were really getting tight to people, but late in the game, it seemed like we're just letting them launch bombs down the field. But Shabari, I thought he kind of stayed close enough to the winger that they weren't trying to feed that winger as much anymore because he wasn't getting that space to kind of operate and get the ball and control it to then go at the left back. So thought he did a good job. Neto, yeah. I mean, we know what we're getting from Neto. They're still putting those unnecessary crosses that it's like he doesn't even look up before he does it. But defensively, he came on and give us a bit more solidity with his speed. And towards the end, taking the ball to the corner and surprisingly getting out of the corner and trying to score out of nowhere. But I thought he really came in, had a real participation, so very good there for Neto. And then Kenda gets his debut as well. He could have scored as well. And in fact, we thought Joao Pedro had scored a second goal, but it was ruled out for offsides because Kenda was just offsides from the initial pass from Joao Pedro. So. But yeah, I thought he did a pretty decent job. Esteval, he looked off it. I'll be honest. He just did not look up to it. I don't know. Some of the passes were not assured. There was no zip in his passes. I felt like he was just letting some of the game get past him too easily. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to say more about Esteval, but he needs to really step it up because yeah, he didn't cover himself in glory today. And then, of course, Enzo comes in, and we saw a mixture of reaction from the fans, and even the Fulham fans. I'm sure he's getting a little bit of that heat from the England game in which he scored against the English team and celebrated in a very ridiculous way. But he's gonna be getting that all year from everybody. But I thought he came on and I don't think he really perfected the game that well. To be honest, he did not bring the control I thought he was going to bring. So we really need Caicedo to not be hurt, to not be injured. I need him to be back. But overall, very satisfied to get this first win. Um, yeah, but very happy to see that Cole Palmer seems to be back to his best. I'm really going to be keeping an eye out for the news about his injury, if he is indeed injured. I hope it's just a cramp or like a slight calf strain, but very happy to see him look very good. I was online looking at some reactions during the halftime, and I saw how people were very impressed by his showing. So very happy with Cole Palmer and what he kind of offered today. Shout out to Joao Pedro and Morgan Rogers. All of our guys scored today. The front three looks dynamic. They look really freaking solid. They will be scoring tons of goals this year, but we gotta freaking get that midfield sorted out. I don't know what's going on there, but we definitely need to sort it out in that defense. And can we get in the market and get a new goalkeeper? Because I cannot do this year with Sanchez. Like too much bozo moments. You can't start the year off like that. You're not giving the defense any kind of confidence. You could tell the confidence just leave everybody's body after you concede that first goal. And we can't have that, man. We cannot have that. So, what do you guys think? But happy again, very happy about this one. And yeah, on to the next game on Thursday.